This is the Inferno Podcast. It's the official podcast of UAB Athletics. Blazer fans, this is the place every week for an inside look into UAB Athletics. This episode is brought to you by Pearl River Resort. Welcome into the Inferno Podcast. I'm your host, Scott Griffin. Season 2, Episode 3, also Episode 50 in the existence of the Inferno Podcast, so kind of a milestone here for the program. Let's take a look at what we have coming up, brought to you by Legacy Credit Union, the official credit union of UAB Athletics. Today we talk football. We are in game week mode right now. It's gotten here. We've been waiting on it all summer, right? So we'll get thoughts on the wrapping up of fall camp and in game week from head coach Trent Dilfer, who also brought a friend, a very timely friend. His middle linebacker, Devin Hightower, will also be on the show talking about the defensive side of things as well, and we'll get a kind of a feel to where the team is as they progress through this season. Also coming up on the show, we've got the schedule for UAB sports in the fall. It went from like 3 to about 10 overnight. So that is in full swing. We'll give you an idea of what sports is out there and what you can watch and look for as well. As always, you can catch us on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook. We have the website, of course, as you take a look at that list there. And make sure, again, it helps us out if you like and subscribe and ring that bell for notifications so that when we put something out, you get it to digest here. So we've got all that for you as well. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. Trent Dilfer has a lot to say. Stay with us. You're watching the Inferno Podcast.
Trent Dilfer here, head football coach of the UAB Blazers. Get out there and tackle your financial goals with a new credit card from Legacy Credit Union. Legacy offers multiple credit cards for whatever your financial objectives are. You can begin earning rewards today with a credit card from Legacy Credit Union. Legacy, the official credit union of UAB.
Welcome back to the Inferno Podcast. Scott Griffin here, and our guest in the Coach's Corner, brought to you by Pepsi and Viva Health, of course, as head football coach Trent Dilfer. TD, how you doing, man?
Glad to be here. It's been a while since I've been on. I like this pod.
Yeah, you've got the perfect initials. It just dawned on me.
You know, I used to joke.
Work out for you?
Remember, I played in the same era as Terrell Davis, so he was TD, and I used to joke, you just call me INT.
INT.
Yeah, I threw too many of them in the pros, so I just adopted INT until I retired and really started at ESPN. When I was working at ESPN, people started calling me TD, and I'm like, wow, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to argue.
Yeah.
And just trick America that I threw more touchdowns than interceptions. So just
That's right.
Perception becomes reality.
But if there's ever a question, then you just bring out the ring and go, well, I do have one of those. But anyway.
Yeah.
So let's just start at the basics. Fall camp going on. We're in the game week now, barely into it. What have you seen, just generally speaking, to warm up?
Well, I've been pretty honest about, I don't know. I've taken the I don't know who we are approach. I think we're evolving, and evolving in a good way. But when you have 48 new players and 16 new staffers and, only return one starter, on defense, and really one star at the start of the year last year offensively, you can count a couple more if you count the end of the year. We got to go through some hard things together. We got to figure out who we are. We got to figure out what our identity is in all three phases. So I think we've learned a lot. But you really don't know until you play another opponent. I really think it's a flaw in college football. High school football, you get preseason games. Professional football, you get preseason games. And college football, you just beat up each other. And you really don't know until you kick it off. So I'm in a wait-and-see approach. I've been encouraged by the professionalism of the building. I think the players that we've brought in, and very intentionally, how we recruited them, They'll tell you it was less recruiting, more interrogation, because we wanted to make sure we didn't make the same mistakes, which were getting conned. We wanted to bring players that were hungry, that had a certain competitive temperament to them, that they embrace the challenges that come with college football,
right.
No entitlement, productive, So when you recruit those types of kids and they come in and they're vying for starting positions or they're in a rotation, you naturally are a better team because they've been through more fires. And we've been through some fires together now, so I think I know who we're becoming, but I want to see us play football before I really know.
Yeah. And defensively, all the staff changes, a lot of them there. Mm-hmm. Has it accomplished so far? Again, we got to see the litmus test, but so far, has it accomplished what you thought it would?
It has. It's just I'm trying to find the easiest way to explain this. It's no stone is left unturned. Is that the way you say it?
Yeah, that's right.
If you're a player and you're being coached by this staff, there is nothing that isn't coached. Like nothing gets passed up. They see everything because they've seen it all. They've had so much experience at the professional level and the college level and down to the high school level of just seeing what it looks like and the danger rangers and the good things that you can't really have a play where you're not getting coached. It's like every player being coached every single play for months. And I think the cumulative effect of that is a higher football IQ, a better understanding of team defense. I think the effort level as we get tired, like any team can have good effort when you're fresh.
Of course.
Who has great effort when you're tired?
Yeah.
Right? When your legs are done, when your mind's cluttered, when, you're irritable and grumpy and hungry and cramping and, have boo-boos all over your body because you've been tackling, and who can have great effort then? And the sustained effort through fatigue collectively has been exponentially better. How they respond to bad things. They've had some bad things happen to them in camp. They've given up way too many big plays, right? But they don't hang their heads and cower and blame each other and point the finger. It's more of a, hey, that happened, flush it, next thing.
Move on.
And you got to have that. It's so hard to play defense in college football right now, just with the rules and the innovative offenses, that you're going to lose some battles. So it's really the battles that create points that you got to anchor down and win, and they've done a really good job with that. And they're really enjoyable to be around. This is a group that, and it's not enjoyable because they're always fun and giggly. It's enjoyable because they come to work and they get after it and they care. The care level is so much greater than I've seen in my time here.
So are you the kind to hand the keys
Fully
to
hand the
the
keys.
DC?
Fully hand the keys.
I mean, your program you're overseeing, but you hand the keys.
Yeah, and I think it's the best way to do it. You don't want to try to be an expert in something you're not. I know a lot of defensive football. I've been around some great defensive coaches. If I'm asked my opinion, I usually know where I'm coming from. But I also don't see the master plan. You know what I mean? I don't have the master vision, have how every piece fits into one another. Now, where the master plan comes in is being like-minded with the person with the master plan. And Steve Russ got hired, and if I went back and interviewed another 1,000 people, I'd still hire Steve Russ. But there's some really good candidates that I hired, and they got hired by great programs for that reason. Where Steve won me over was we literally see defensive football the same from 30,000 feet. The total impact of how to play defensive football. How you run a 3-man front or 4-man front, what blitzes, what coverage schemes, what games you play up front, what backer plugs, what overloads. There's a lot of ways of doing that. But what's the overall goal? And, I had some great mentors, and Monty Kiffin, one of the greatest defensive coaches of all time, played for Tony Dungy, Marvin Lewis, Rex Ryan, Jack Del Rio, and they're from that tree. They're from this, the tree goes way back, but, the tree that they got into was the Ron Rivera, Jack Del Rio tree, which is a branch of the Marvin Lewis, Monty Kiffin. So what I learned about what winning defense is, they believe in too. How they get there, they run different schemes. We do some stuff, and I don't get caught up in that. But I know that every day I go in the office that what's being taught fits within my vision of how you play defensive football to win games.
And that tells me, I think, because he has a pressurized philosophy, aggressive, and a lot of times that happens, as you know, when you're an offensive-minded head coach. What did you not like to face, right? So that's what I want on that side of the ball.
It is. I think that gets a little overblown.
Okay.
Because, pressure, people think pressure, and you're like, oh, super aggressive and, hair's on fire and we're blitzing everybody.
Yeah.
And I think that exposes you too.
Oh, there's no doubt. You're giving up something to do that, right?
And I would not call our defense that. I would
Okay.
call they're creating matchups here's the easiest way to say it. They're going to find where you're weak, and they have a lot of tools to pick on it. So they want to make you eat your soup left-handed. There's a better way of explaining that, but PG
No, I like
is,
that.
you got it. It's very hard. Anybody can eat soup right-handed if you're right-handed. Go and hold that spoon in your left hand and try to not spill it. And that's really been what I've learned about defensive football over all the years I've been in football is, one, you want to let players play fast and free.
Yeah.
See what they're seeing and go play, go hunt. But you have to do it in such a way that their best players aren't impacting the game too much, and their worst players are. And I think that's a big core philosophy of what we're trying to do is identify your pigeon and make your pigeon play a lot of football.
No doubt about it. Our guest, Trent Dilfer, for a few minutes, head football coach here for the UAB Blazers, of course. You had said earlier this week or last week, I can't remember when, but
I can't remember anything.
You're not going to be any help. You ask your quarterback, you rely on or require, probably is a better word, of your quarterback more than anyone. Explain that.
Yeah, I think when I say that, sometimes they go, yeah, whatever. I'm like, okay. We have probably 7 different cadences, that they have to process in line of scrimmage to get tells in the defense. I'd say the NFL, a lot of teams have 3 or 4, 5. We change every protection. They have the ability to change every single pass protection. They can get us from pass to run, run to pass. They can hand signal the outside and get us to ideal looks, and whether it's a screen or a pass or whatever. They can play at 3 different tempos. They can dummy count, play at another, and change tempos within a play call. They have the freedom to read left to right, right to left, middle out. They read the C gap post snap. They read run to run. They read run to pass, pass to pass, run to pass, run to run.
Yeah.
We'll have plays that are an RPO. People think RPO, run pass option. Well, RPOs with the right defensive structure can be terrible. So we turn them into run to runs. So now you're changing a tackle to come down, and you're reading the C gap defensive end. So now you're in triple option mode. We ask them to be incredibly mentally tough. We ask them to prepare better than I prepared as a professional athlete, and still do great academically and still be good citizens and serve the community. Right. It's totally unrealistic what we ask of them. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Do you do that on purpose?
Yes.
Like, I want to overload you.
Yes, and we
to
tell
see
them,
what you retain.
and we are honest with them. Like,
Yeah.
It's funny. You're going to talk to Devin Hightower today, which has just been an unbelievable addition to our team. But we really don't recruit players that hard. We sell what we have to offer, and then we interrogate them because we want to see if they can handle it.
Right.
And with quarterbacks, I say this every time a quarterback sits in my office. Like, do you really know what you're asking for? Well, I want to be coached by the guy that played in the NFL and, did the Elite 11, and Alex Mortensen, who coached all these pros. I'm like, okay, can I tell you what that involves? And we want to run them out. What I don't want to be is tricked when they get here. You know what I mean? I don't want them to be like, oh, this sounds so cool, and they get here and they tap out. Nate Rogers was a great example. Great young player for us from Watonka. And he's the best athlete in the school, best basketball player, best football player. Like, life's come easy to him. And I remember his dad and mom were there, and I'm laying out why he probably shouldn't come to UAB. And his dad goes, are you recruiting him or trying to put him in? I said, no, I need him to understand that this is an intellectual game as much as a physical game.
That's right.
And he was about it. He was like, let's go. I need to learn how to play quarterback. But a lot of them that want me to pat them on the back and tell them how great they are, and I tell them, hey, I'm very unimpressed with that type of high school player you are. I think you'd be a really good college player, but I'm very unimpressed with the high school player you are because you haven't been asked to do very much. And I don't know if you can be accurate when being asked to do all these other things. I don't know if you can be tough when things really get hard. I don't know if you can make the type of plays we're asking to be made when you've also processed multiple layers of information. I don't know if you can work at the level we expect you to work. I don't know if you can still get a 3.5 or above GPA while we're asking you to all do this. I don't know if you can serve 40 hours in the community while we're asking you to do all these things. I just don't think you can do it because you've never been asked to do it.
That's right.
And the dad's like, do you like my son or not? I'm like, I do. I like his traits. But this position, I'm not going to get tricked.
I like the dough and the salt added, but
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be bread.
Yeah,
right?
I'm not getting tricked. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I've spent 2 years getting conned, and I'm done getting conned
Yeah.
by anybody. By anybody.
Yeah.
And especially the guy that holds the ball every snap.
So what that says is when media or fans go, well, this guy can play because they see a strong arm or whatever.
Yeah.
You're looking at footwork, decision making, all the intangibles
I laugh.
nobody talks about.
Listen, the quarterback recruiting season to me is the most comical season of the year. I literally, and I did it at Elite 11, I see these big programs sign these kids that have zero chance. They have zero. Like, they're super talented. Don't get me wrong. They probably earned all their 5 stars.
Yeah.
They have no chance because they've never had to do it with the pressure, with the expectation, with the multitasking that I know they're about to be asked to do. So what's going to happen is their road is going to be longer. Therefore, they're going to quit sooner, and they're going to transfer. Go through your list right now. Everybody pull out their old whatever recruiting rankings and look at the top 10 quarterbacks and watch how many times they transferred because it didn't work out at the first SEC school or the first Big Ten school or the first whatever school. And Elite 11, we were able to identify all that because we did a very similar process. We just made it incredibly difficult, and we found out which ones have the resilience, the grit to get through it and improve, and which ones like, oh, what's the next easy thing that I could do? Because eventually, at quarterback, you're the biggest, baddest dude until you're not.
Right.
Well, if you've never
Right.
been not, right? Well, then I'm going to learn not in college, and what's that going to do? Like, everybody goes, well, you have them for 5 years. No, you don't. These guys are going to come in and be ready to play. We recruited Ryder Burton in the winter portal with the expectation that if something happens to Jalen, he's the starting quarterback.
Yeah.
You know, he's the backup. And he has responded to that because we vetted it a certain way. So I don't listen. You can tell me I'm wrong about everything. My record proves that I've been wrong, but this is the one I will not compromise on. That
Yeah.
How we recruit the quarterback position is very different than anybody in the country. And I watch all these guys and I grade them like I did at Elite 11. And usually the guy that's like 39 in the country is the guy that I like the most.
Yeah. But if you waffle on your conviction,
Yeah.
what do you got left?
Well, it's been
right?
pretty
I
good.
mean,
I will say this. I have no pride left, so don't take this as a prideful statement. I've been pretty good at this.
Yeah.
I have a track record through the NFL draft, through Elite 11, through the kids we brought into Lipscomb, that 2 state champions, 1 kid never lost a football game,
Right.
Gatorade Player of the Year nominee, that, by the way, was a backup on his JV team. So we've been able to identify these traits, this makeup. I would say that's the easiest way to do it, is this holistic makeup of the player that we believe is a winning quarterback. And sometimes they're not great throwers, and sometimes they're not great athletes, and sometimes they don't have all the stuff that other people want, but they know how to win football games as a quarterback. And then you build an offense, build a team around that player.
so let's talk about Jalen. First of all, I appreciate you guys letting me do a story on him for local television. Great kid. Made a mistake. His parents helped him through that.
Yep.
But you take a chance on him too. So when I say, what did you see? Easy to see, like we're talking about, 6'5", 230 with a great arm.
Yeah.
But what did you see beyond that? Because I know you looked beyond that.
The grit, the resilience, the pedigree. I know what the messaging was at home. I know what it was on his football teams. I know he's overcome. I know what the general day-to-day of his life looked like, both good and bad. How he responded in a very tough situation, how he took accountability for his culpability within that situation. The people at Florida that coached him, that grew to love him and would have begged to have him back. Because he was going to be the starter once Anthony Richardson left.
Sure.
And coaches we really respect. There's Billy Napier's a guy that our staff knows and we respect. The talent, he's very talented. I think his willingness to grow is the thing that is most exciting to me. He's not even close to where he needs to be or where he's going to be. But he's also only started 8 college games.
Yeah.
So his ceiling's incredibly high. We've worked really hard on raising the floor, and I think that's his greatest challenge right now with limited starts. By the way, I was the same way. I played 6 games my freshman year. I think I started 13 my second year. I was okay. I was very talented, but I made some really stupid mistakes. And then I worked through those, and I set the NCAA record for least passes, and most passes attempted without an interception held for tons of years, because you grow, and we have good coaching and you have the right approach. You grow and you get better. So he wants to grow. He wants to speed up the growth process probably more than most, and I have to remind him that there's going to be some natural bumps in the road. He doesn't flinch. I think that's the thing that there are some times he played terrible last year at times, and he knew it, but it didn't affect the next time he went out. He's not throwing a fit on the sideline. He doesn't get caught up in his feelings. He has a process to get ready to go play the next snap, as it's the most important snap ever. He's not a big outgoing leader like, me. I'm a loudmouth,
vocal,
big
right,
personality, eat up a lot of space. That's not him. He's more fun. He's way more fun than me. He's really enjoyable to be around. I think his teammates respect him, number one. Number one, I don't think there's anyone on the team that doesn't respect him, the way he lives his life, the way he works, the way he competes. But they also is fun. I think sometimes they want to spend more time with him, but he is married. You can't just go hang out with the guys all the time. He's married. Right. So, he's just really the complete package. Now, saying all that, I don't know if he's going to play great football in the beginning. I hope he does. That's our expectation. Really, our expectation is prepare as if you're going to be the best player in the country.
Yeah.
And then go let it rip.
Well, and he averaged over 270 in a game.
And
so he had moments, right?
Yeah, we're going to go play football and trust that we're going to win as a team. Not one person's going to win the football game. But again, I think if he has an issue, if he has one big issue, he puts too much pressure on himself to fix everything, and he can't fix everything. He doesn't have a Superman cape. I've told him a lot of times, hey, wait a second. I didn't see that cape in your locker. Do you have a cape in your locker? And nobody else has a cape? He kind of laughs at me listen, you don't have a Superman cape. You can't go win the game on one play. Yeah. Just do what we're telling you to do. We know what we're talking about, especially in preparation, and then just go play football. Feel what you see and trust what you see and let it rip.
Finally, as we wrap up, but I want to get a feel for, I think running back room's good to me from the outside. Tell me about that quickly, offensive line, some work. And your skill level, the toys he has to play with.
Yeah, I hate this part of end of camp, beginning of the season. What position group had the greatest, and I'm not in every.
Because it's evolving, right?
Yeah, and I'm not in every position meeting. I got a million meetings during the day. I can't sit in every single position group meeting. I evaluate both sides of the ball, special teams, every single day. But, I'm going to miss if Devin misses an assignment. I may blow right over my head. The running backs probably made the most plays.
Okay.
If you just want to say, okay, who made the most plays in camp? So to me, making a play is doing something beyond the X's and O's. I can get you, if we have the right scheme, to get open at 6 yards, right? That's the scheme. That's the call. That's the scheme. What if I call that play and you're covered, right? Because it was the wrong call. And then you still find a way to get open and make a play.
Right, you hitch and go. Right.
Yes, we have not blocked linebackers. Devin's probably going to giggle here, in the hole. And our running backs have done an amazing job of giving them half a leg, and the linebacker kind of comes off the leg tackle, and they go and turn what should be a 1 yard gain into a 6 yard gain. Our running backs have made plays in the passing game. They made plays in the blocking game. They're all contributors on special teams. So if you're looking at a position that's made the most plays, I'm not saying the best, but just made the most plays in a 3-week camp and another week, kind of transitional week, it would be the running backs.
All right. Quick thought on Hightower. He's coming up, Devin.
What a great kid. Here's what I'll say about Devin. You can talk about the football stuff. He's a highly productive player in college football. Here's a kid that's gone through some tough stuff. You know what I mean? And he makes me better. I look for guys on the team. I told him this the other day. He can tell the story. I walked in. I said, guys, I need, I got some demons I'm shaking off too. It's nice to walk to walk into a building and be like, man, that kid lifted me up today.
Yeah.
Man, his approach. Right? I know he's going through something, but he's not letting that baggage affect how he's treating his teammates or his coaches. That's Devin. He's a really good football player. I don't want to just make this kumbaya nice kid. He's a very good football player. But, man, he's a light on our football team, despite going through some tough things. Off the field, which we all have stuff, right?
Yeah.
And he's been able to manage his stuff without it ever sucking the life out of our team. If anything, he puts life into our team.
Beautiful. Thanks. Coach's
Appreciate you.
Corner, Trent Dilfer, thank you, sir. Blazer of the Week, the guy he was talking about, Devin Hightower, coming up when the Inferno podcast continues. Hang on.
Oh yeah, oh no. Oh yeah, let's roll. Let's roll.
The if in life. It's a world of possibilities. If you go for a night out with friends, if you can keep an eye on your money along the way, if you know you have overdraft protection with no fee transfers from savings, when you get a low balance alert, it's easier to say yes to fun. If that sounds good, try Regions Life Banking.
Stay ready for the if in life. Regis Bank embrace the if in life.
Welcome back to the Inferno Podcast. Scott Griffin here, and our Blazer of the Week is middle linebacker Devin Hightower. Devin, what's happening? How
What's
are
up?
you?
How you doing? I'm
You
great.
doing good?
Yes,
You-
sir.
You making it through fall camp?
Got to. It's good. It's going really well right now.
Is there a secret? Because you've been through enough of these, right?
Mm-hmm.
At different schools. Is there a secret to getting through fall camp? Obviously, you're focused on improving and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but
Honestly, I just take it day by day. Don't look in the past or don't look too far ahead. Just stay where your feet are, and then by the end, it's gonna be game week. Honestly.
yeah. Now, Devin is much traveled. That's not an indictment. That's just fact. He started his career at Michigan State. Okay, go to Cincinnati, Rhode Island a couple of years, and then you move again. So tell me about the thought process coming south to UAB.
Well, this past decision was I really wanted to end my career, playing at a very high level, and I got the chance to meet some great coaches to do that. I just felt like it was a great opportunity to take that next step for myself.
So what grabbed you about it? I mean, because you got to like beyond the football, right? I mean,
Yeah. Honestly, just the way Coach Dilfer and Coach Russ explained how the defense was going to be this year and like my place for the defense, I just felt like it was a great fit, and they just felt like very family oriented, and even football's going to go away one time, so
Right.
just that feeling that they're always going to be there for me as well.
I got you. So you and I were chatting, and Coach Rush is that aggressive mindset, but not out of control, as Trent just explained. So tell me how you think his philosophy fits what you're doing and you as a player.
Yeah, so I always grew up playing like a little running back. So I always just loved playing fast, and that's like the mindset Coach Russ stands on, and just for everybody to play fast and play together. And that's why I feel like it's gonna be a great season this year.
So you'll have what kind of responsibility? Obviously, run when you're in the middle, but what other responsibilities will you? Will you blitz some? Will you?
Yeah, I'm gonna be blitzing, dropping a lot. That's a great thing with Coach Russ. We're gonna be all over the place. I might be over here one play, over there the next play. So it's just
Taking it back, out of the back, but
you
whatever.
You really never know what's coming.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what about your teammates? Because I mean, when the coaches get done and the practice is over, you got your boys that you got to hang with. So
Yeah.
tell me about that.
It's been really great, especially in our linebacker room. Even just off the field, if we're going bowling, watching movies, lifting together. It's just been really great to see like the 7, 8 of us all come together and all gel together since spring. And I know that's going to translate to good play on the field.
That's one thing nobody talks about, do they? The bond.
Yeah.
It's and you've been on some winning teams. I think you won a state championship in high school.
Yes, sir.
That bond is there, right?
Yes,
I mean,
sir. I was about to say that's something that's definitely, it sounds cliche, be close with your teammates. But I honestly, the schemes, but just like Coach Dilfer was saying, the scheme might not always be there, but you gotta always have trust and trust in your guys that they're gonna be in where they're supposed to be, and I feel like that is really gonna help us.
So you're about 227, you told me. You're kind of prototypical middle linebacker these days. In the old days, you want to be 245, but these days with all the responsibilities, that's pretty big. So tell me a little bit about any special diets or weightlifting routine or any special training you do, or you're just pretty basic?
Yeah, I'll say it's pretty basic. Just come in with Coach Lyle every day, and I just try to get as much calories as I can every day, and it's pretty basic, honestly.
So you tend to not. You've got to work hard to keep the weight.
Yes,
right?
sir. Yeah. So in high school, I played nickel, so I was like,
oh wow.
Yeah, I was like 210, 205ish. So keeping weight, it's not a problem or anything, but it's just something I just gotta keep maintaining, so I could just keep it there.
Absolutely. Our guest is Devin Hightower, middle linebacker for UAB. What are you studying? What do you want to do if football doesn't work out, or not that it won't work out this year, but you know what I'm asking there.
Yeah, so I graduated last December with a marketing degree. So both my parents are in sales, so I would love to do that, or I would love to get into coaching as well.
Oh, really? So you're kind of open to whatever?
Yeah, open to whatever, honestly.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So you wear number 0. Is there a story behind that or no?
Honestly, no, not a Pacific.
Well, that's not good for the podcast.
Not a Pacific story, but one of my favorite basketball players is Russell Westbrook.
And you kind of look like it.
I've got that before, honestly.
Yeah.
But and his reasons to wear it because 0 people believed in him. And so I wouldn't say 0 people believed in me, but I kind of just like that story. And like when stuff hits the fan, I love to just think back at that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. So tell me what grabbed you about this level, this conference, because you got Navy in there, you got UAB, of course, Memphis. You got some pretty big schools, and like you said, it's a higher level than Rhode Island.
Right. Honestly, just like you said, it's really not no like a very low team or a very high team. It's like a lot of teams in this conference, they do a lot of different things, either run or pass. I just felt like it would be a great spot to put myself to get the best of both worlds with the passing and the running game.
So what do you think of Birmingham?
I like it. I've been here since January, so I like it so far. Got a chance to check out some barbecue spots. So it's my first time in the South, so I'm still getting.
It's your first time?
Yeah, first time. Like living in the South. Yes, sir.
Living, yeah. You visited before.
Yeah, I visit like Florida, but never been Alabama though.
All right, so what do you think of Alabama? You could be completely honest.
Completely honest.
Nobody in Alabama watches this podcast at all.
I like it. It's just a little hot, honestly, but I'm getting used to it though.
This isn't hot, man. Come on.
That's what I keep hearing. It's not even that hot.
This is nothing. This is like spring. What are you talking about? No, but so tell me about the barbecue.
I like it. So I've been going to this one place.
Can we mention barbecue restaurants, Hayes? Hayes gives a thumbs up. Go ahead.
It's called what's the name?
Saws?
Yeah, Saws. That's what it is.
Wow, that was a good guess on my part.
It is Saws. It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to make my rounds and just see.
There's not many bad barbecue
I
places.
haven't had any bad. We've been getting catered Full Moon, and that's been pretty well.
Yeah,
pretty good
Full
too.
Moon's good too.
Yeah.
So is it different than Ohio barbecue?
I would say it's different. I think it's just like more sauce here, honestly.
A little kick?
Little kick to it too.
So you like it?
I do like it.
So you might be getting heavier one day if you don't watch out. What is your go-to meal? Is it barbecue?
I wouldn't say my go-to meal is probably pizza. Honestly, pizza's
Pizza's
my favorite food. Always
really?
my whole life.
Do we want New York style, Detroit style? You might be Detroit style since you're kind of close there.
Yeah, Detroit style.
Big, thick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I guess we've kind of morphed into the lightning round all of a sudden,
I know.
talking about all the different things that we got going on here. Getting back to a little football, you've played enough to you've seen kind of the game evolve a little bit. Do you like the direction? Because you're very normal to be a defensive back in high school, but have the frame to put 10 or 15 on and become a linebacker.
Yeah.
That was never dreamed of 15 years ago.
Right. I love the way the game's going because, I feel like for me personally, I could be super versatile. I love guarding people. I love being in coverage, but when stuff hits the fan, you got to fit the run. So I just feel like it's a perfect fit.
Yeah.
For my style of play.
So what tip would you give any player, because you've transferred and used the portal, and you told me the story just to briefly go over because we want to talk for an hour about it, but Michigan State, different things happened. Your coach left, moved over positions, all that thing. So naturally you go to Cincinnati, you go to Rhode Island, and then here. every one of those still was the right decision for you? And I know this most recent one was because you just made it, but
I think if I had to give somebody advice, I would just say pick like where you're like. I know like you go to a school for a specific coach, but like don't make that the only reason because coaches come and go. So
yeah.
I think that's something I struggled with at first because like I just was living like in denial, like my coach would leave or like that would even be a thing. So I think just go like not just because of the coach, find different reasons if it's just educationally or maybe if you have a close friend or just like the type of defense they do. I think go for that and not just the coaches.
So the more factors
more
than
factors.
just right.
The coaches.
Am I going to play early?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that too.
You got to have patience, right?
I have to have patience.
Oh, no doubt about it. Do you? Obviously, this is probably a goofy question to say. Do you want to play in the NFL or professional football? At all? Is that,
sir. Yeah, that's always been a goal since I've been a little kid. So,
okay.
Yes, sir.
But you've got Plan B,
Always
just in
got-
case, right?
Always gotta have plan.
Because your
A,
parents, I'm sure.
B, C, D. That's how my mom raised me. So
Yeah, but that's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. What hobbies you do? You typical video games? and-
yeah, I love playing the video game. Just hanging out with my friends. I'll be on the FaceTime my old friends at my old school. So nothing too crazy, but just really chill.
Playing them online? and-
Yeah, playing online.
You got a game of choice or?
Probably NCAA football.
Oh, football.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And who are you usually?
Since I'm from Ohio, I'll be Ohio State a lot.
That's a pretty good choice. I think. I'm sure you grew up thinking Ohio State, right?
Yeah, everybody in Ohio does. That's the dream school
Yeah.
for sure.
So was it weird going to Michigan State to begin with?
I wouldn't say weird because once I made that decision, I kind of left those childhood dreams away because
Yeah,
I got to
yeah.
play against them that next year. So I kind of just left that under the rug.
So you wouldn't freak out if you had to guard Jeremiah Smith in the slot and
Nah,
you'd be ready for
You
it?
gotta do what you gotta do.
I got you. But you're still an Ohio State fan. I'm sure there's that part.
Yeah, just that little part. Yeah.
The
it
kid
is.
part.
Yeah, and my parents too. So.
Yeah, that's cool. Will they make it to games? Are they the kinds that'll come to?
Yeah, my parents were very supportive to me last year. They came to all my games away
Wow.
and home, so they're looking to do the same thing this year as well.
That's fantastic. Do you have a person that you model your game after? There's so many, again, in the NFL, boy, I could name 1,000,000 230-pound linebackers that fly around.
Yeah.
Do you have somebody you kind of go,
One person that I watched their college film a lot was Isaiah Simmons a couple years ago back at
a good
Clemson.
one.
Just because he's a little bigger, but just how fast he is and just like he was all over the field.
He's range bound.
Yeah, and I just love just seeing how he played.
yeah. You feel like you got that? What is your 40, by the way?
I'm not specifically but last time I ran was a 4.58. So
That's pretty good. Okay. But you're quick, too.
yes, sir.
All right. Do you have a favorite sports movie?
Favorite sports movie, Blindside.
Really? Why Blindside?
Just the story, honestly. I just love it. I've seen that movie probably like 20 times with
Really?
20 different
Like know the
people.
lines?
Know the
Kind of
lines,
watching
all of
it.
I love it.
Wow. Is there a specific moment or line or that just maybe makes you tear up or?
Yeah, I kind of like when he was fighting like in the basement and he closed his eyes and just start praying and just try to reset. And
Yeah.
sometimes, that's what sometimes I be thinking, like when things are going left, you just gotta just take your time and just try to let things work out.
Yeah.
Without trying to do too much.
Pull a lesson out of it. Finally, if you didn't play football, and that could happen or it might continue, we don't know, but what would you be doing, you think?
Like I said a little before, I would love to get into coaching. I've been playing football since I was 3 years old, and I really,
Wow, 3 years old.
yeah, I started with flag football. My dad got me into flag football, so I really just don't see myself not doing anything football or sports related, honestly, just because I just have such a love and a passion for it.
I lied. One more question. So, what grabs you about it? Is it the hitting? Is it the strategy involved, or?
Honestly, I think it's like the competition and just like the team, because I think all my friends I have now I've known from basketball to football, so I think that's something that's the relationships and
Yeah.
like the lessons that I'm gonna carry on forever and teach to my kids, and my kids are gonna teach to their kids. So I think football. That's why it's a huge part of me.
It sounds corny to say lifelong, but that's what it'll be.
It is.
20 years from now, you're going to go, that was right.
1,000%.
Yeah, that's great. Devin, thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you. I really
We appreciate
you.
Yes, sir.
Had a great time.
Devin Hightower, middle linebacker. Look for number 0 roaming around, stinging opponents for UAB this fall. We'll take another break, come back with more on the Inferno Podcast.
Oh yeah, oh no. Oh yeah, let's roll. Let's roll.
Trent Dilfer here, head football coach of the UAB Blazers. Get out there and tackle your financial goals with a new credit card from Legacy Credit Union. Legacy offers multiple credit cards for whatever your financial objectives are. You can begin earning rewards today with a credit card from Legacy Credit Union. Legacy, the official credit union of UAB.
Welcome back to the Inferno Podcast. Scott Griffin here. Let's take a look at this week in Blazer Nation. A ton of contests to check out as fall sports is just in full swing as you take a look. August 22nd, we got UAB Volleyball and Alabama State. That's at 5 o'clock, so make a note of that. Women's soccer taking on Louisiana Monroe at 7 o'clock on the 24th. The very next day, men's soccer, we kind of mentioned that a week or so ago, but big matchup against Louisville at 7 o'clock. Then football, the first football game of the year. The Hornets from Alabama State take it on UAB. Of course, that's a 7:30 kick at home. Then August 29th, UAB Volleyball back in action in the Crimson Tide Invitational. They'll take on Jacksonville University at 10, and then later that day take on UNC Asheville. So a couple of games, doubleheader on the 29th. Men's soccer also in action on the 29th. They're on the road at Clemson. And then the UAB women's cross country competes in the Foothills Invitational at 6:15 on the 29th. So as you can see, a full slate of schedules and games for all the different sports there over the next week. Tons of information coming out about UAB athletics. That wraps up our 50th episode. Of course, Season 2, Episode 3, but the 50th overall, and it was fun to have you with us here. Be sure you like and subscribe at all the social media channels that you pick us up on. For the guys, I say adieu here on the Inferno Podcast. We'll see you next time.